Hi everyone, welcome to tonight's Taubman's live colour advice session. I'm hoping that we're streaming. I think my little mate here, little elf, has decided to play a few tricks on us this evening, and we had a few issues with beginning our broadcast, so I do apologise. So I'm going to start. My name's Fiona, I'm the Taubman's colour specialist, and we are here this evening for our last Taubman's live colour advice session for 2023. Oh my goodness, it's hard to believe that a full year has just escaped us all. I can't believe it. I remember, this time last year I was preparing for our last session and all of a sudden we're here again. So it's amazing how quickly it goes. But it's been fantastic, and I hope that everybody that joins us, and I do say thank you for our regulars. We really appreciate you coming on and joining us live each and every week, and I do hope that you've been able to get some inspiration with colour and certainly learn all about our wonderful portfolio of products that we have designed to protect and beautify your space. So as I said, I'm Fiona, I'm the Taubman's colour specialist, and the way the session rolls is I am on screen for the first half an hour to talk all things colour, projects and certainly products. And look, it's a fantastic opportunity if you would like to pop any questions into the feed, and I can certainly do my best to answer them for you and offer some advice. And once we finish streaming, I usually sit back for a further half an hour or an hour. It just depends how many questions that we do have. And then it is a fantastic opportunity for you to upload any images that you do have or any photos that you're wanting some assistance with on colour, etc. That's when you can pop them in once we finish streaming live. Unfortunately, whilst we're streaming, it's impossible to upload any images. So tonight is all about frequently asked questions, and as it's our last session for this year, we're going to go through a few new exciting, I guess you could say, colour things that are happening, and certainly some stuff that you can utilise while we're on our summer break, if you like. So I do have questions coming through, so I'm going to start. I'll answer some questions and then I'll take you through some of the stuff that I would like to show you this evening, so that whilst we are on break, you've got somewhere to go and get some inspiration. Okay, so I'm going to start with Tina. Thank you very much for joining our live colour advice session this evening. Okay, so your question is, do walls have to be matte? Is low sheen better for durability and cleaning? Pros and cons, please. Look, that's a fantastic question. And it's something that I have touched on before, and I'm really happy to touch on that again for you. So, look, as I mentioned, we have a wonderful portfolio of products available, that are designed, again, to help you achieve, you're picking a colour and it helps you to achieve that wonderful result. And it's really important that the product is fit for purpose and it's going to do what you want it to do. So really good question, is low sheen better for durability and cleaning? Okay, so I'm going to direct you firstly to a product that we have, which is called Taubman's Endure. It is the bee's knees. It is a fantastic product. So as you guessed, we're talking Taubman's this evening, and I love talking Taubman's because of the wonderful products that we have available. So I am going to tell you all about Endure. So Endure is, as I said, a fantastic product. It has what they call NanoGuard technology. So NanoGuard technology is, if you were to put a paint film under a microscope, most paint films have just a one-size paint particle. And so what happens, you've got, I should just draw it actually. I'm going to show you because I talk it all the time. And I'll quickly show you what I mean. So you've got one size paint particle. So this is if you were to put a standard paint film under a microscope. So it kind of looks like this. You have to excuse my quick drawing. So there's your one size paint particle. You can see that there. So what happens there is you've got space in between the paint particles where dirt, etc. can capture. So with Endure, because of its NanoGuard technology, so NanoGuard has that one size paint particle plus the addition of smaller paint particles, which are designed to, as you can see here from my wonderful drawing, I won't give up my day job anytime soon. It's designed, and you can see this on the can. I probably should have just had a can with me, to be honest, but we're in the process of moving house and things are getting packed. And so you've got the one size paint particle, then you've got a smaller paint particle that fills the airspace. And so what it does, it creates an interlocking molecular structure. So what that means basically is you can scrub the paint surface, which is really, really important. So you're wanting to know about durability. So not only is that in our low sheen, it's also in our matte. But what we've also put in our matte Endure, it has, so a standard matte paint contains calcium carbonate, and that's what makes it quite matte. So, but ours, what we've taken is we've used some technology from 3D and we've put ceramic microspheres. You can actually Google it. They're little tiny ceramic beads, if you like, that are in our paint, in the Endure matte. And what they do is they make it matte, per se, but they allow you to actually, you know, wipe down the surface really, really well, because generally if you've got a matte paint finish, if you were to wipe over the surface, you'd end up with shiny patches, which is what we commonly call burnishing. So we've kind of covered both with our Endure, so you're pretty well safe to use either. It's entirely up to you whether you like a matte finish or whether you prefer a low sheen. Look, a matte finish is fantastic. So I'm in Queensland. There's a lot of beautiful old Queenslanders, you know, that are around, that have got beautiful long halls, high ceilings, and because of the plaster walls are old, they do contain, you know, a lot of imperfections. So a matte finish in an area like that is fantastic. It's going to stop any glancing light, and as you drop down your sheen level, you basically, it gives you more hiding power, if you like, to hide any imperfections. And as you heighten your sheen level, so going up to a gloss, that can really highlight imperfections. So I hope that helps, Tina. If you've got any more questions, please pop them into the feed and I would be very, very happy to answer them for you. And once I finish streaming, I will pop a link into the feed to the product that I've just talked about, being Taubmans Endure, because it is a fantastic product. Okay, Karen, thank you very much. Fantastic. Yep, I'm happy to look at your pictures once we finish streaming and certainly answer your questions for you. Very, very happy to. So, okay, so I'm just reading. So hi May. Lovely to have you joining us this evening. Thank you very much. So your question is, hi Fiona, I have an orange brick house and same colour for roof. I have wooden fence and a big garage shed on site to be painted. What colour do you reckon for the fence and the shed to make the house outstanding? Thank you. So let me just read that again. An orange brick house and the same colour for the roof. So you've got orange, so I'm thinking perhaps orange brick, same colour roof. Sorry, so I'm thinking maybe Manor Red or something like that, or terrain. I have a wooden fence and a big garage shed on site to be painted. What colour do you think? Okay, so you know what you can do the best. Oh, hi Justine. Thank you very much for joining us. Great to have you here. Okay, so there's a really simple and easy way when you're embarking on a colour journey and you're not sure where to start, because it is quite daunting. You know, you open up a colour card and it's like, wow, there are so many colours, and you're not sure. So you can Google, and I think, oh yeah, I do still have one, hopefully. I haven't packed it. Let's have a look here. Actually, I have packed it. Let's not go there. You can Google a colour wheel. So a colour wheel is a fantastic place to start, and you can do what's called a complementary colour scheme. And so that's looking at the colour that you have that exists and then looking at the colour that sits opposite that. So, you know, for a red, green tends to sit opposite that. So you could start to play, given that you've got an orange and an orange with a blue that sort of sits opposite that. So you could start to look at something that has that sort of bluey grey. I think would work really, really well with your orange brick. And certainly, you know, given that you have the same colour roof. And, you know, you could even, if you're wanting to make them connect, I would suggest perhaps that if you're going to introduce, sorry, I'm looking at the screen here and reading it and thinking at the same time. If you're going to introduce a blue, per se, blue-grey onto your shed, you could then inject that colour onto your house as well so that they connect. I think one of the ways to ensure that you have, you know, a really nice cohesive colour scheme is to ensure that you've got repetition of the colour that's being used. So I would suggest perhaps having a look at, let me just think, a really nice grey that has a blue sort of undertone. That's going to go with your orange brick. Let me just find some really nice tones here. I guess it depends on how dark you want to go as well, but there is a wonderful colour here called Platinum Grey. I don't know whether you can see that there. Now that's going to work and sit really, really nicely with your orange brick. So I'd be tending to send you towards that sort of colour or that sort of tone as well. You could blue it up a little bit more if you wish to, and that would take you looking at something like, let me have a look here. There's a colour called Pantomime, which is the third one down there. Something like that is going to work really, really well with your orange brick as well. And you know, the other suggestion is have a look at the brick and see what other colours are sitting in there. So, you know, it may look or appear to be, you know, tonally all orange, but there may be specks of, for example, before we rented our home, the house that I'm in at the moment, the bricks there was a lot of orange in the brick, but then there were, I suppose you could say, almost little flecks of glass that had sort of a blue sort of tinge to them. So looking at what else exists within that brick can also give you inspiration. I hope, May, that's helped you. If you would like any further colour advice, please pop something else into the feed and I'll be very, very happy to give you some further suggestions. Now, I also too have another couple of questions here. This one came from Stacey. Thank you very much, Stacey, for popping a question in earlier onto our feed. So you're doing a country coastal reno. You also have exposed dark brick inside with arches. Don't want to paint. So you're going to leave the dark brick exposed with arches and a country coastal reno. So I'm thinking that you could go, I think you would probably want to keep it relatively light because you've got the dark brick inside. I guess the other thing to consider is the dark brick, what sort of tones, as I just talked about, bricks for, we're talking about an external application of colour to work with orange tone bricks. I guess it also depends, you know, that applies to the inside as well. You've got a dark brick. What other tones are in that brick that we can tend to bring to life, even if it is diluting it right down, but we know that it's going to be tonally correct and sit really, really well with that brick. So I'm thinking somewhere to start, given that you're doing coastal, a couple of colours here. There's a beautiful colour called Taubman's White House. And then you could also dial it up just a little bit more, and it's called Gazebo White. So those two colours there would be where I would start your journey, and I can picture that with a beautiful dark, rich brick and the archways, and given that it's a coastal. So I'm hoping that something like that can work for you. And then the other question I had as well was a beachside apartment colour scheme ideas, please. Okay, again, if we're looking for internal, you've got a beachside, obviously it's going to depend as well on what else you have. So, you know, when you're looking at creating a colour scheme, if you like, it's great that we're talking beachside. It gives me an idea, and you know, it's always good to look at where your house sits because that will give you inspiration as well. Obviously, if you're in the country, you may tend to look at, you know, varying tones that sort of are very reminiscent of that sort of lifestyle and surrounds. But given you're in a beachside apartment, it's also going to depend on what you have on your flooring, which is also going to then, I guess, help to influence your colour choice. But I'm going to start with a fantastic white that I think is the most beautiful white. And anybody that watches our regulars are about to go, I can guarantee everybody's saying, I know the colour she's about to say. And you're right. It's crisp white. It's the top colour here. It is the most amazing white. And for anybody out there that's listening, if you are looking for a white and you're stuck and you're unsure where to begin with your colour journey when it comes to whites, go to crisp white. It's our number one white, and it is our number one white for a reason. When you look at what goes into, I guess, creating whites aren't just whites. They have a certain amount or a certain level of other colours. So the tint is then put into, say, a brilliant white base, and then it can help to create some wonderful tones that may throw, you know, a slight blue undertone, a slight green undertone. Crisp White has a particular tint which is called Raw Umber, and what it does is it creates the most wonderful white that is quite clean, quite bright, but it has a very soft, I guess you could say a softness to it and a soft glow, and it will work in a space that is fully drenched in sun or in an area that lacks a lot of natural light. So it's my go-to white. I recommend it a lot because I understand and I know how well the colour works. I love it so much. It's in my home. It's on my ceilings, it's on my walls, and also on my doors and trims. It is a beautiful, beautiful white. So that's where I'd start. And given that you're also in a beachside apartment, I'm kind of, imagining Hamptons, if you like, and there's a couple of other whites that work really, really well for that style as well. So the other colours I would have a look at are a colour called Alpine Snow. I mean, these look really white on screen here, but I'm just, because we are literally lit up like a Christmas tree in here. I can say that now because we're not far off Christmas. And the next colour that I would also look at is another one, and it's called Aspen Snow, which is the second one down. Beautiful neutral style white that's going to really play to that aesthetic that you're wanting to create. And again, it's another really versatile style white as well. So have a look at Crisp White, have a look at Alpine Snow, and also Aspen Snow. Okay, and Bronwyn, if you've got any further queries, please pop something to feed and I'll be very happy to answer anything further. Okay, so Stacey, welcome and thank you for joining our live colour event this evening. So you're saying, hello, can I ask what is a nice colour black tone to use for interior bedroom doors with white walls? Okay, I automatically think of a colour which is called Taubman's Trendy. It's beautiful. It's a fantastic black. It's got a very, I guess you could almost say it's quite a clean black, because even though, you'll hear me talking about whites and you'll hear me talking about the varying undertones in whites. And you know what? Blacks can be the same. You can put some varying blacks together. Some of them can have more of a green undertone. Some can have a blue. Some can be quite brown, and some can even have a bit of a a sort of purple undertone. So I think that, for more of a cleaner, I suppose you could say almost just a neutral style black, Trendy is fantastic, and you can pair that back with some wonderful whites. So if you were to, so this is a really good place to start. As I said before, I'm really, really, really excited to show you our brand new colour cards and our fantastic team. We've got the most wonderful design studio, and our design studio manager has brought all of these to life. There's the most wonderful images, the new fresh covers. I think they're just beautiful. We've got whites and neutrals, so you can go and visit, and look at that, how gorgeous is that? You can go and visit, hop into Bunnings, go visit the colour wall, and you'll see these starting to come through just in time for all of those Christmas projects. So this is the, I don't know whether you'll be able to see it, but here we go here. There's Trendy. So you can see that it's a really nice, dare I say, clean black. But so you'll find that colour in our exterior colour card, but that's not to say you can't use it internally. And I'd go and grab yourself one of these, and then you can have a look at the colour. Sorry, I've got something in my eye here. So this is where I'd start, Stacey, with Trendy. There is also another really lovely, deeper, darker tone. I don't know whether I've got it in here as well. Yes, I have. It's actually sitting next to Trendy. Here it is here. It is a colour called Mojo. I think that's another colour that's definitely well worth having a look at. And I know that sits with colours like, sits really well with colours like Taubman's White House, etc. And that's going to work really, really well for internal doors. And you know the other secret? When you're looking at colouring up doors, if you like, as opposed to, say, just painting them white, what I would recommend is there is a fantastic a fantastic product called Taubman's Water-Based Enamel. And when you start looking at colouring a door, so to speak, use a gloss finish. Again, it looks fantastic. And the best way for you to see what a gloss finish is going to look like, because obviously when you acquire or when you go and buy yourself a sample pot, they generally come in low sheen, so it's not going to show you what it looks like when you gloss something up. But if you get yourself one of the colour chips off the wall, or even, you go and grab yourself one of our wonderful colour cards, and you get a piece of clear sticky tape and you just pop it over half of the colour chip or half of the chip here, and you'll see how the colour comes to life, if you like. It kind of intensifies the colour. So that's what happens when you gloss a colour up. And I think when we're injecting a little bit of colour, or we're doing a point of difference within our interior doors, and even for our front door, I thoroughly recommend using Taubman's water-based enamel and using a gloss finish. You cannot go wrong. Okay, let me just see here. Hi, Mortiza, thank you very much. I hope I've said your name right. If I haven't, I do apologise. Thank you very, very much for joining us. It's fantastic to have you here. Okay, so I'm going to now, I really have something annoying me other than Mr. Elf on a Shelf here, who thinks it's really funny to just be hanging around. We've been having some fun with him this week. Anyhow, I'm going to take you through how the colour cards work, because I think it's really important, because I know that this is our last session. We're just launching these, so I think it's fantastic that you can learn a little bit more about them, and you can certainly re-watch these sessions. So as I said, we've got our exterior colour card. Now when you open up, look at these colours. And then in that top corner there, you can scan the QR code, and that will direct you to our landing page where all our colours are housed. Then if you turn around on the back side, you can scan here, and it's going to take you, and it's going to take you to where you can learn all about this wonderful product here. As I said, we're talking Taubman's, and this is our Taubman's All Weather. It is, again, an amazing product, and as I talked earlier about our NanoGuard technology, it's also in that here. Okay, so the way this works, it's been set out to be very user-friendly. Maybe not friendly for me to hold it up onto the screen, but very user-friendly. So on this side here, we've got some wonderful whites that can be used for, your trims and making some accents. We've got a selection of fantastic front door colours, because it's really, really important when we talk front door colours that we look at something that's called LRV, which is our light reflectance value. And when we're talking about colours for a front door, and especially a new front door, front door manufacturers have stipulations that you need to adhere to ensure that you don't void the warranty. And so LRV comes into play because they like colours to be 50 or greater. Anything 50 or less, so 0 is black, 100 is white. We're talking about 50 or greater, so we're going from mid-tone colour going up to white. And then we're going for 50 or lower is a mid-tone colour going right down to black. So imagine that you're painting a brand new front door that is in full sun, and you're painting it black. So being a dark colour, it's going to draw the heat, and you can potentially void your warranty, because the door can potentially twist and warp due to the colour and the heat. So we've taken that into consideration, and some really top trending colours here. And then if I am to flip to the other side, we've got a few colours down the bottom here that are really, I guess you could say that they tend to play a little bit to more of a traditional style home. And then we've got some of our top trending dark colours here, and this is where I was referring to before, to our Trendy and our Mojo. And then when we look at the centre, you have some of our top trending colours. So here, for example, we've incorporated some wonderful, as you can see through here, ColourBond colours, because we know that they play a very important part to when you're designing a colour scheme for yourself at home. But then if you look at how the colours run through each line, they are designed to work with each other and with the ColourBond colours, allowing you to create a colour scheme. So it gives you somewhere to start. It's a very easy to use colour card, and there's some fantastic inspirational colours in there. So the next one I'm going to show you is our whites and neutrals, and there's some fantastic information here about choosing the perfect white, so you can have a read about that. I'm not going to read all that now, otherwise we'll run out of time. But it also has, here we go, again, a QR code where you can scan and it's going to take you to our landing page where our colours are. And then we also have on the back, again, another QR code that's going to take you to learn a little bit more about our wonderful portfolio of products. And as I mentioned earlier on tonight, our Taubmans Endure. So this QR code here will take you to information about that. I understand, what are we? We're at 7:35 or 8:35. So I think I've still got another 5 minutes because we did start a little bit later today. But here we go. So here's our whites. And the way we've laid it out, where am I? Oops, let's go back that way. So first of all, you can see some grey squares around our colours. Now that is to show you our top trending whites. Boy, I'm very cack-handed here tonight. And then it starts here. So there's a gradation bar here. So you've got some cooler tones here, going into more neutral tones and then going to warmer tones. So depending on what you prefer, this colour card can certainly guide you and help you with your selections of whites, because I understand, and we all understand, that selecting whites and neutrals can be quite daunting. The other tip as well, when you're going to begin your colour journey, and especially when you're looking at whites, when you visit our colour wall, have a look for a colour chip that's called Brilliant White, or go armed with a piece of white computer paper. And then when you've got your colour chips, you can lay them up against the Brilliant White colour chip or your white piece of computer paper. And what actually happens is you can start to see the undertone within that white come to life. And it helps you to differentiate whether you've got a cool white, a warm white, or a neutral white. It's a really good trick to have. And again, when you're viewing colours for interiors, look at them internally. And when you're viewing colours for exterior, look at them outside, because lighting plays key. And I talk about this, and I'm going to bring it up again now. I thoroughly recommend, for everybody that's about to embark on some wonderful projects over this holiday season, I thoroughly recommend a sample pot. And the reason being is it's a great way for you to see how the colour is going to play within your environment. So this is what I would say to do. So, you know, you're going to go to your local paint store. Perhaps you're going to go into Bunnings. And when our paint comes into Bunnings, it comes on large pallets, and in between each layer of paint is what we call pallet liners. So they're large pieces of cardboard. You could certainly go and talk to the friendly paint team and ask them for one of the pallet liners. And what I would suggest you do is cut yourself a metre by a metre square, because you're wanting a large piece of cardboard. Get your sample pot, brush out 3 coats of your colour, and once dry, test it in 2 areas. Here's your wall, here's your floor. Sit your sample piece of card that you've made up against the wall, touching on the floor, and look at it in natural light, and also look at it in artificial lighting. So the natural light's going to give you the best indication of how the colour is going to play within your environment. Take particular attention to how the colour works against your flooring. For example, if you have warm timber flooring, sometimes the tone of that can influence your white. And I use this analogy all the time. If you have something like a red leather lounge, sometimes let's say the sun beating on the couch at some point throughout the day can reflect onto your walls, and your walls can look like they've got a little bit of a pink undertone. So really important to understand what's happening in your surrounds, and then obviously look at it as well under artificial lighting, so that you can see how your lighting is going to affect the colour as well. The other place to do it is, here's your wall, here's your ceiling, putting your sample piece of cardboard up against there so it's touching the ceiling up against the wall, and that way you can see how the colour's going to look of an evening, of a day, with artificial lighting on, etc. So it gives you a really good understanding of how the colour works for you and works in your environment. I recommend doing that as well, also with colour. Now, talking about interior colour, I love this, and I really love the cover, and I'm in love with this colour. I think Boston Ivy is the most beautiful green. And you know what? Greens are becoming the new neutral, and we do know that greens and blues are, look, they're very safe to use, and it's a really great place to start. So again, on the back, the QR code, which will direct you to learn lots more about our wonderful portfolio of products and especially our Taubmans Endure. And then internally, there's a little bit, I guess you could say, almost a little bit of psychology around the colours and how you can use them. And because obviously colour's very emotive and people feel things when they look at certain colours. So, and again, you've got the grey outline. I love the colours in this. You have the grey outline around the colours, around our popular colours. And these are the most beautiful, beautiful colours that are very much, I guess you could say, coming into the now. They're quite timeless in a lot of ways. Some beautiful, beautiful greens and blues. You can see some more earthy style neutral tones there as well. It's just a wonderful collection of colours. So I'm really excited about that, and I'd love to see anybody that is painting over this season and using our new colour cards, sharing some images of what you're doing with them, because I think it's a wonderful place to start. And don't forget as well, our latest 2024 colour forecast, which has again some wonderful colours to help you on your colour journey. And I recommend when you are starting, when you're looking at this, begin with Scented. Again, it has our top whites as loved by you all at home. And then I would go to the next collection, which is Grounded, which has our wonderful, which has some wonderful, beautiful earthy greens and some wonderful blues, which really sort of plays to that biophilic sort of trend that we've got happening at the moment. So lots of colour, lots of new, exciting colour collateral, if you like, to help you protect and beautify your space inside, colour it up, coupled with some fantastic products that we have. So that's what I wanted to share with you this evening. So while we're on break, you've got somewhere to go to get some colour inspiration. So I think that's pretty much it, everybody. That takes us through to our end of the session. I can't believe that's gone very fast. I seem to have done quite a lot of talking. If there are any further questions, I can see some questions coming through there. I will be off screen sitting behind the computer and answering the rest of the questions. But thank you, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us this year. It's been fantastic. We look forward to coming back again next year to help you with all of your projects and offer some advice around our wonderful products, and certainly here to help you with all of your colour conundrums, if you like. So as I always say, happy painting. Until we break, I hope everybody has a safe and wonderful Christmas and a very happy New Year. It'll be fantastic. We'll be coming back in 2024. Wow, I still can't get my head around that. But until then, everybody, happy painting, stay safe, and thank you very much for joining us. Good night. Bye.